5 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Karina Garcia has the night off. New at 10, a car caught fire Thursday around 6 p.m. The Victoria Fire Department was able to put out the fire. Victoria police tell us no one was hurt. A man was running the truck and it caught fire. He got out okay. New at 10, a 1-year-old boy from Houston at the center of a nationwide Amber Alert is found safe in Minnesota. Authorities tell KTRK Noah Johnson was found in Minneapolis. Noah's mother, Camilla Johnson, was taken into custody by the Minneapolis Police Department. She was arrested on an active warrant for child endangerment. Noah reportedly is safe and getting the medical attention he needs. An Amber Alert suspect from North Texas was arrested in Yoakum. The Amber Alert was issued from Wilmer for 2 missing children and their mother. On Tuesday, the mother, 26-year-old Jacqueline Hernandez, walked into the Yoakum PD headquarters. She asked why there was no Amber Alert out for her. Yoakum police contacted Wilmer police. They issued an arrest warrant for Hernandez on aggravated kidnapping charges. She was arrested and extradited back to Wilmer. The 2 missing children were with her. CPS took the children. They were returned to their father. A Victoria suspect faces charges in Calhoun County. 40-year-old Christy Sauceda is charged with terroristic threats and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. She is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $13,000 bond. Yoakum police arrested a suspect after a short chase. 55-year-old Luke Molina was taken into custody in the 900 block of Old Shiner Road. Molina is charged with continuous family violence and evading arrest. He is in the Lavaca County Jail in lieu of $200,000 bond. 2 people were hurt after a 2-vehicle crash Wednesday morning in foggy Goliad County. The crash happened in the 8,000 block of U.S. Highway 183 South. The driver of a Lincoln 4-door tried to pass another driver. The Lincoln then ran right into an oncoming 18-wheeler. The driver of the Lincoln was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the semi had minor injuries. The driver of a 3rd vehicle swerved to avoid the crash. The vehicle went into a pasture. The driver was not hurt. At least 1 person is dead as the state's wildfire continues to grow to 1 million acres. So far, the blaze has destroyed homes, burned vast ranch lands, killed livestock, and forced evacuations across the Panhandle. Now, the largest fire in the state's history. Governor Greg Abbott has upgraded the Texas State of Emergency Operations Center readiness level to allow more resources to be deployed to the impacted areas. And guess what happened in that area today? It snowed. That helped a bit. And let's take a first look at your forecast with First Orange Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. Now, Mac, around here, I noticed a little bit of I don't know if it was a drizzle, like a mist tonight.
There is a little light rain rolling through the area. This is, of course, the tail end of that big storm, and up North Texas, the heavy rain, and of course, it's the one that brought the snow. But it's 1 day of cold weather, and by tomorrow, you'll see the sun, and we'll be back into T-shirts by the weekend. We'll have more on your forecast coming up a little bit later on. Don?
Mac, thank you. In dueling visits to the southern border, President Biden and his likely November challenger, Donald Trump, both were in South Texas today. Americans increasingly name immigration as their top issue.
A made-for-TV split-screen moment, the optics of politics at the southern border. President Joe Biden and GOP presidential frontrunner Donald Trump both in Texas today. Record-setting unauthorized border crossings, one of the top issues with voters. President Biden meeting Border Patrol agents and first responders in the border city of Brownsville, Texas. The president blaming congressional Republicans for killing a bipartisan bill to fix the border crisis with new funding. But Trump had denounced the bill even before it was released, saying it wasn't strong enough to secure the border. Critics say Trump did not want to allow President Biden to fix the border before the election.
So here's what I would say to Mr. Trump. Instead of playing politics with this issue, instead of telling members of Congress to block this legislation, join me, or I'll join you, in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill.
But GOP lawmakers quick to criticize Biden for visiting Brownsville, saying conditions are far more dire in countless other border cities.
Why would he go to the 29th ranked hotspot? Because he doesn't really want to see the reality.
Trump today about 300 miles away in Eagle Pass, Texas, where the surge of migrants is greater.
Now you take a look at the jails throughout the region, but more importantly, throughout the world. They're emptying out because they're dumping them into the United States.
Trump is promising mass deportations of migrants if he becomes president again. With Congress still deadlocked on any kind of border reform, President Biden is considering taking executive action to address the migrant influx. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
A federal judge in Austin suspended a controversial Texas immigration law. It was set to take effect on Tuesday. The law would allow Texas law enforcement agents to arrest and detain people they suspect of entering the country illegally. The judge who stopped the law from going into effect, David Allen Ezra, argued that it would open the door to individual states passing their own version of federal immigration laws. Attorney General Ken Paxton said the state is appealing the ruling. Here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. Here's the question. Should local police be able to detain people suspected of illegal entry? Yes or no? Let's look at the numbers. They really haven't changed much since 6 o'clock. 82% of the voters say yes. The local police should be able to detain people suspected of illegal entry, and 18% say no. We thank you very much for voting. Texas Senator John Cornyn announced he's running to be the next Republican leader of the U.S. Senate. Wednesday, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell announced he'll step down from the leadership role in November. Cornyn said he intends to play a major role in fixing the broken Senate. He is a member of the Senate Finance, Intelligence, and Judiciary Committees, and he says as Republican whip, he helped President Trump advance his agenda through the Senate. Early voting in Victoria for the March 5th primary election continued Thursday. The numbers from the Victoria County Election Administrator look like this. 596 people voted in person early Thursday. 3,634 total votes so far. 118 mail-in votes were received Thursday, a total of 1,118 mail-in votes so far. Early voting in the primary election continues through Friday. You can vote from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can vote at the Dr. Patty Dodson Public Health Center, 2805 North Navarro. More than 1.2 million Texans have cast early ballots in the March 5th GOP and Democrat Party primary elections. Grow in Grace Senior Living in Edna has an unusual resident, a spider monkey. 25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel brings us more on all the monkey business.
There's always something going on when Pixie's around, and she's a joy to be around, to have.
Grow in Grace Senior Living in Edna has 7 residents and one 4-legged, long-tailed friend known as Pixie, a spider monkey. After a lot of research and waiting about 6 months, owner of Grow in Grace, Kim Hicks, got Pixie last summer. Her residents didn't believe her at first when she said she'd be getting them a monkey.
They didn't believe me, but when I brought her in, she came in a diaper and a little onesie, and they instantly took to her.
From chickens, bunnies, cats, dogs, and ducks, Grow in Grace has seen a lot of pets, but Pixie has seemed to win over the hearts of the residents.
Once she warms up to you, that right there is how she is, hugging, giving lots of loves.
She better not. No.
She's talking to them. No.
If you told Madeline Schultz a year ago that she'd be best friends with a spider monkey, she probably wouldn't believe you. Did you ever think you'd have a pet monkey?
No, never. She loves to wrap her tail around your neck also. I'm not sure if that's a hug or a choke. But anyway, she brings smiles to my face.
So you're okay with Pixie living?
I'm very okay with Pixie.
As cute as Pixie is, she is in her terrible twos now, so things like glasses and hearing aids are up for grabs for this mischievous monkey.
She does get ornery. She's real cute. We enjoy her when she comes here, but you got to watch your glasses and things because she'll jump up and grab them and away she'd go with them. Otherwise, we enjoy her.
She even has a little stash of her stolen goods.
She likes chapsticks, eyeglasses, anything little. She likes to steal it, and she puts it all in her little hiding spot.
It's not just the residents here in Edna. Science proves that pets bring us joy. Studies have found that animals reduce loneliness increase feelings of social support, and boost our mood. So bring on all the monkey business. Kim has been in the adult care business her whole life and says companionship that an animal brings in settings like this has a huge impact.
They bring them lots of love and compassion. It gives them something to look forward to. We have a house cat here. We have a house cat at our other facility. There's just a companionship with animals that you can't, I don't even know how to put into words, but you watch it and you see what she brings to them.
So although a spider monkey might be a little non-traditional, the love and joy she brings to her friends is remarkable. So here I am with Pixie. There she is, doing some acrobatics. But you can see there's a lot of joy and laughter here in, oh, there she goes, here in Edna. So a lot of monkeying around. Reporting in Edna, I'm Adam Seibel, KAVU TV 25 News Now.
Thank you, Adam. An East Texas town has put strict limits on mobile homes again. You can read the Texas Tribune article on our website, crossroadstoday.com. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. The Air National Guardsman accused of leaking highly classified documents online is changing his plea. That's coming up on 25 News Now at 10. Also ahead, the director who was shot during the filming of the movie Rust appeared in court today. Teixeira, the Massachusetts Air National Guard member accused of leaking highly classified military documents on social media, is expected to plead guilty. Prosecutors asked the judge to schedule a change of plea hearing for Monday. The Guardsman was indicted on 6 counts of willful retention and transmission of national defense information. He's remained in jail since last April. The director of the Rust film, who was shot, appeared in court today for the trial of The Armorer. Director Joel Souza was hurt in the 2021 shooting, which killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Hannah Gutierrez is charged with involuntary manslaughter and tampering with evidence. Prosecutors say Gutierrez is to blame for the live round that was fired by actor Alec Baldwin. That live round killed Hutchins and injured Souza. Baldwin's trial is expected to start July 9th. In Alabama, there are now 3 bills dealing with IVF that are being debated. On Wednesday, the bills passed out of State House and Senate health care committees. They would grant civil and criminal immunity related to IVF patients and providers.
It was long and hard, but they were definitely worth it. And we made it out, and I just want that opportunity for everybody else.
Chance and Philip Bell wouldn't have their twins without in vitro fertilization. They have 2 additional frozen embryos.
As it stands, we don't have a choice on if we want to use that or not. We're kind of locked out of that decision right now.
Chance wants the Alabama Supreme Court's ruling deeming frozen embryos children overturned by lawmakers, but she sees the bills providing legal immunity as a first step. Senate Bill 160, sponsored by Senator Larry Stutz, would give civil and criminal immunity to providers who are following commonly accepted practices of care. Senate Bill 159 and House Bill 237 provide any individual or entity legal immunity for death or damage to an embryo.
Patients need to have the same protection as the doctors and the providers, and that's what we're trying to do.
Bill sponsor Senator Tim Melton says his bill provides the legal clarity to restart IVF treatments. Some believe these bills don't address the elephant in the room,
which was a Supreme Court ruling that an embryo is a child.
Senator Linda Coleman Madison says not addressing that decision head-on will cause legal trouble in the future.
Can I take this embryo off income tax? Can I apply for school choice? I mean, it's a child. We have got to add some specificity to this. We have got to add some specificity to the law.
The bills now go to Alabama's full Senate and House. The Department of Transportation has proposed steep fines for airlines that damage passengers' wheelchairs. These fines would be up to $124,000. And airlines would be required to have increased employee training. The government says airlines damage or lose about 11,000 passenger wheelchairs every year.
Well, good evening, everybody. It's rather chilly and damp out there. We actually have had some sprinkle activity, but it's 50 degrees, and that's kind of where we've been all day long because our high temperature was only 54. Well, by tomorrow, we start seeing the sun, and we're going to start warming up as fast. We might even make it up to 70. How about that? We'll have more on your weather coming up after this. Well, good evening, everybody. We've had a little light drizzle out there this evening, and by tomorrow, however, well, that's going to be gone. This is sort of the last hurrah. You can see the little spritzes here and there, but skies are clearing out to the west. In fact, by tomorrow, you'll see a little bit of sunshine and a south wind that's going to help warm us up. This is the, shall we say, the goodbye departure of the storm that brought us quite a bit of weather. First, it brought us that cold front. Remember, the fire in Amarillo started when the winds were blowing from the south. Then the winds turned to the north and spread the fire farther south. So those are wind-driven fires, and that's incredibly hard to stop. But tonight, a lot of that is clearing out of the area. You can see how we have had some rain along I-35 all the way to East Texas, and a few sprinkles here in the crossroads. But here's a view of the snow that occurred in Amarillo this morning. Yes, they had snow following the fire on top of the burn area. Go figure. But today we're going to be looking at all of that area and our area warming up fairly rapidly. As a matter of fact, Future Tracker will show you how everything starts moving to the east, and we start picking up the south wind, and then all of a sudden we start warming up. As a matter of fact, you're not going to believe this one. The Amarillo area, by the weekend, will be back into a high fire danger because of the strong winds and the low humidity, which is where we began all this whole thing. 72 tomorrow, and then we get up to 78, then 80 degrees. We're going to see 80 degrees for a few days. In fact, you'll be wearing t-shirts and flip-flops by the weekend. These are the high temperatures in the low 70s for us, but upper 70s for much of far west Texas. While our little rain band starts moving away, we're watching a huge, I'm talking an enormous winter storm rolling out of the northwest. This storm is going to drop 5 to 10 feet of snow in the western mountains, and in the ridges at the top of the mountain, they're likely to get 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Now, the storm center goes up into Canada, so it's not going to affect us, but the tail end of it will finally roll through our area probably on Tuesday of next week, giving us a shot at maybe a little rainfall. So cloudy in the morning, and then by the afternoon, you'll see a little bit of sun. That'll help get the temperature up to 68, 70 degrees. And in Cuero, we start off cloudy as well, and we get up to a little bit of sun. It'll help you get up to 70 degrees. 7-day forecast, well, there it goes. We start getting to 78 by the time we get to Saturday, 80 degrees, 80 degrees, 80 degrees. And then starting on Wednesday, or maybe even Tuesday, we might start picking up a little light rain around here, and that may actually hang around for about 2 days. So we're certainly going to be watching that as we get to next week. Otherwise, we've got a very spring-like looking weekend. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Please scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. And now here's Zach Brown with sports.
Day number 1 for the Victoria ISD tournament for softball in the books. I'll have highlights from our local teams coming up in sports. The VISD tournament over at the Youth Sports Complex. We got to see a lot of local teams going at it, and one of those teams off to a fantastic start. St. Joseph, who won their first game, but it got pretty dicey in game 2. They were down 6-4 late in this one, but the top of the order got the Flyers in business. We got a leadoff single to get a runner on. The next batter rips one to third. She can't catch it, and the throw to first is late. Heads up base running has Flyers at the corners with nobody out, and in steps Elena St. Jean, who smokes it to right center field. 2 runners are going to score, and the game is tied on the clutch RBI double. The girls would work the bases loaded with still nobody out, and the pass ball is going to score St. Jean to give them the 7-6 lead. Now in the final inning, Steele has the tying runner at third with 2 outs. Flyers trying to close the door. Here's strike 1, and the next pitch swung on and missed, but the ball gets away. They're trying to tie the game. Great defense. They got her hung up in a rundown. She can't get back to the bag. St. Joseph hangs on to get a 7-6 win. They win both of their games on the day. Now from one powerhouse to another, talking about the Ganado girls. Well, they dropped their first game on the day, and they took on the Calhoun Sandies in game 2. And the Sandies pitched fantastic in this one. The Maidens down 2-1. This ball is going to take a funky hop, and they get a runner on first, trying to push that tying run across. Just could not figure it out in the batter's box, which is not something you will hear often. They are ranked for a reason, but Calhoun got the better of them in this one, allowing just the 1 run. They defeat the Ganado Maidens 3-1, so really good pitching on both ends in this game. Ganado drops both of their games, but the good thing about this VISD tournament, they get right back at it tomorrow. After Calhoun took on Ganado, they stayed on that same field just minutes later and took on the Bay City Lady Cats. Bay City had an early 1-0 lead, but Calhoun would open up a 6-1 lead, and they would never look back. They won both of their games on the first day of this VISD tourney. And speaking of VISD, here's Victoria East, who beat down Orange Grove 16-5 in the first game, but in game 2 against King, the Lady Titans were on the other side of that coin. King batted around and put up a crooked number in the first inning. King gets the win. Victoria East splits their 2 games. We have a fun one on our hands tomorrow. St. Joseph versus Victoria East. How's that for some VISD tournament action? Baseball had a tournament of their own, and the East Titans baseball team continue to dominate in the early going. They get the win over Veterans Memorial. What a game from Mason Sockwell. Not only did he pitch the complete game shutout, he went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. TCU commit Kason Coley went 2 for 3 with a couple of RBIs as well. The Titans ended up losing their second game, so they currently sit at 6-2 on the young year. VISD tournament game 2 tomorrow. We're going to be there with more highlights. Don, back to you.
All right, Zach, thank you. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, tomorrow we celebrate a classic American favorite, peanut butter. We'll be back in a jiff. AMC reported fourth quarter revenue of $1.1 billion. an increase of more than 11% from the same time a year ago. AMC's CEO says literally all of that increase is due to 2 concert films, Taylor Swift's and Beyonce's. The Swift movie is the highest grossing concert film and documentary in history. Both films are AMC exclusives and are the first movies the chain has distributed on its own in its 103-year history. The 2024 Florida Strawberry Festival opened today in Plant City, Florida. For the next 11 days, festival goers can enjoy fruit-filled fun, such as the St. Clement Make Your Own Shortcake and Strawberry Fried Oreos. Yeah. The vendors bring the food, but also the fun with rides and games galore. All the activities are opportunities for families to make lasting memories. Strawberries. Oh, yes.
And pretty soon we can go down to the one in Poteet. They have, Poteet has strawberries. Big on strawberries out there.
But now if people want to travel this weekend to go to different festivals, they're having an art walk, for example, on Saturday in Port Lavaca.
Terrific.
Looking good, huh?
Looking good, because today is a one day of winter. And tomorrow, we're at springtime.
Rip that part of the calendar off?
Yeah, pretty much. Put away the sweaters, folks. By tomorrow, we'll be at 72 and 78, 80 degrees by the time we get to the weekend. And then we're going to stay in the 80s there for pretty much the next 5 days. Now, there is a little rain chance, but that's not till next week. Otherwise, I think you got a great looking weekend for looking for strawberries or whatever's out there blooming right now.
Oh, that sounds like fun. All right, Mag, thank you. And finally, tomorrow is a day of recognition for one of America's favorite foods, peanut butter. Peanut butter is a classic on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, of course, but it can be a dessert option when combined with chocolate or added to ice cream. I've never done that.
What?
That's good.
Chocolate, of course, Reese's. Yeah. Anyway, but across the globe, from Africa to Asia, peanut butter has made its way into savory dishes like Thai peanut butter shrimp.
Now that's good.
And African chicken peanut stew. I've never had those, but I checked Google on this. Who invented peanut butter? I have the answer.
Orville Redenbacher.
No. Peanut butter was invented in 1895 by Dr. John Kellogg, the same person who invented Kellogg cereals.
Yeah, he did well.
So if you want to have breakfast with cereal and peanut butter, there you know. All right, thanks for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. Join Carolina Astroin, meteorologist Parker Cox. 25 News Now sunrise starting at 5 a.m. Good night and enjoy that peanut butter.
From Hollywood, it's Jimmy Kimmel